how much energy children have. We've all said, or at least thought, when observing a child as they run around the room, tapping into what seems like an endless supply of energy, man, I wish I could bottle all of that energy up and sell it. The sad truth is, I cannot do what I did as a child. Paul famously stated in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11, "When I grew up, I put away childish things." I found there's another truth that we could arrive at from the same words in that scripture, maybe situate a little differently, and that is this: when I grew up, childish things put me away. When I was a child, before the invention of iPads, iPhones, Xboxes, and electricity, well, maybe not quite that long ago, but every moment that I could spend outside, I did. From the moment that I got off the school bus, finished my homework, until the sun went down, I was either at the park or in the cul-de-sac with my friends playing baseball, kickball, or war. The only limit to my activity was the setting sun. And I could wake up the next morning with no regret, no remorse about running and jumping that had taken place the evening before. Now, that is no longer the case. Now, the fading sunlight is far from being the only limiting factor in my activity. If I engage in some form of physical exercise that is outside of my customary routine, the moment that I think about rolling out of bed the next morning, there are sirens, alarm bells, all kinds of signals my body is sending as pain shoots throughout my entire body. Being active at 43 is different than what active was at 13, 23, or even 33. I have found that my body is willing to be as inactive as I am willing to allow it to be. One of the laws that govern electricity is that it follows the path of least resistance. This is also true of our level of activity as we get older. If you give me the choice between an hour on the recliner with a bag of potato chips and an hour running on the treadmill at a 6-mile-an-hour pace, there really is not even a choice to be made concerning what I'd rather do. In 1 Corinthians 9 and 27, Paul uses a physical metaphor to bring about a spiritual truth. The metaphor that he uses is true also in the physical. He said this: "I discipline my body like an athlete, training it to do what it should." While I do not have the energy that I did when I was a teenager or even a young adult, I must push myself to remain active. I may not be able to play outside until the sun goes down, but I can push myself to spend an hour in the gym or invest in some form of physical exercise. My challenge to you today is train your body to be active. If active for you right now is walking to the refrigerator, well then push that a little bit, up your game, and walk to the mailbox. If active for you is jogging to the end of the driveway, push yourself to jog to the end of the road. Now, it's not fair to yourself to expect that you will be as active as you were in a previous season of life. But it's also not fair to your next season of life to not be as active as you can in this season. So today the challenge is, in whatever season you're in, be